At your command.
For Queen and...
Her Majesty, the Queen of Albion. Today, you decide on the status of the Brightwall Academy, Your Majesty. Samuel will speak for the town and its scholars. Riva will dispute his cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, it was your father who opened the doors to Albion's great...
The Brightwall Academy will be open to all who wish to learn.
The Brightwall Academy shall be reopened, and Albion will once again have a free center of learning.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. This is the start of a new day for us all.
Very well. I will make the arrangements at once. Stimulate your intellect in the newly reopened Brightwall Academy. Suckle the knowledge from the land's greatest minds and avail yourself of the best library ever assembled. Everyone, from the most impoverished genius to the wealthiest idiot, is welcome. Brightwall Academy. Whatever you earn, it's the place to learn.
The court summons Page and Riva. The matter before you today is the future of Bower Lake. Riva will offer his proposal. Page will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, a recent survey of Bower Lake has found that the waterbed is rich in valuable metals. Now, as amusing as it would be to make workers hold their breath as they mine these resources...
Page is right. We must protect our natural resources. Bower Lake is to be left untouched.
The Queen has ruled. Bower Lake's natural beauty is hereby protected by order of the Crown.
Thank you. Let's show the world Albion is worth defending.
Is a pretty view worth more than a treasury full of gold? I bow to your greater wisdom. As someone whose home has overlooked the resplendent Bower Lake, I am pleased to declare the official protection of this natural wonder. May its water drown anyone who doesn't appreciate its beauty.
I trust the court was not too dull today. In any case, I'm confident your final task will be most enjoyable. A loyal and wealthy member of our community has offered to make a sizable donation to our treasury. Her only request is that you go to Millfields to make the collection in person. A perfect chance to stretch your legs, Your Majesty.
I love killing rich folk. Suckers shooting at us. I should have brought some marshmallows. Stop standing around collecting bullet holes and kill her. rain broad, I can still take it. Look out! Shall we have...
Welcome to the Sanctuary. Man.
The Queen! Wow!
Look, I know where the thief is. He fled into the woods.
Madam, I understand you want to recover what you've lost, but those woods are simply too dangerous. It would be suicide to enter them without combat experience, or training, or skill.
I don't want to enter them. I want you to.
Right. I was talking about me.
Oh, just forget it. Ah, Your Majesty, it's such an honor to have you here. If only fate hadn't conspired to make me look like a fool. Beware the woods, Your Majesty. The soldiers may be superstitious, but there's no denying dangerous beasts lurk within. Good luck. I know you will succeed.
Ah, Your Majesty. Oh, yeah!
Go!
And... oh, yes!
Looking for the statue, Your Majesty. Follow the White Balverine.
Right, you monster. Prepare to meet your... Oh, I'm so sorry. For a moment there, I thought you were a Balverine. Damn things are always trying to get through our defenses. We burn silver nitrate in those lamps to keep them out. Kills them pretty quick if they hang around for too long. If a lamp goes out, well, I don't like to think what might happen then. One went out just recently, but we got it lit again fast. The man responsible, this bloke Connor, got punished. Severely. Before he disappears into the forest, he tells us there's gonna be a reckoning. He's probably in 25 different stomachs right now. That's my reckoning. You can come on out, everyone. It's safe.
Yes! Yeah!
Your Majesty, I've been expecting you. Been through the village, have you? Charming hamlet. It's full of warm, wonderful people who'll give you the shirt off their back and condemn you to death for one simple mistake. Anyone can fall asleep on watch. You exile him into this forest and call it justice. But enough about that. You're here for that statue. It's quite a remarkable thing. It did everything the legend said it would. And now I don't need it anymore. It's funny how things change. So if you want to take it back to that prig in Millfields, it's yours. Nearly free of charge. All I ask is a small favor. Destroy those silver nitrate lanterns. Then the village will get a taste of justice. The choice is yours. And it's a simple one. How simple? If you decline, my brothers will kill you. Ah, well. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Still, your choice won't save the village. Now that I'm the leader of the pack, we've got some brains to go with our brawn. We'll lose a few of the weaker members, but we'll deal with those lanterns on our own. In the meantime, killing you will be a good way to, shall we say, get the blood flowing. Stronger than I imagined. Your Majesty, but not strong enough. Prepare yourself for death.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You've saved us from certain destruction. We're in your debt. You'll always be welcome here, should you wish to return. Connor had this on him. It looks like a Belverine. It's yours if you want it.
You up, you lovely dog. I bet you sleep on a big pile of gold, don't you?
Incredible! There you are, Your Majesty.
There's the Queen.
For you.
We cannot thank you enough for... saving.
My queen?
Ah, hello.
Hello, superhero.
Ah, you mad? Let's have a cheeky dance then. Here we go. Yes. Ooh, ooh. Cheeky. Attention.
You're back! Did you find the thief? You found it? Oh, I can barely contain my tears.
A magnanimous gesture indeed. Your subjects are lucky to be ruled by one so giving.
Give it a rest, will ya? Trust your well, madam.
With the fatidic attack not far away now, it fills one's heart with confidence and supreme satisfaction to see the treasury filled to the brim. I have taken to sleeping beneath the gold and can report nothing but restful nights. As for today's first order of business, you may have heard about the dire situation the kingdom's economy finds itself in. Logan's policies always kept our cities on the edge of bankruptcy, and the... You are such a giving, magnanimous person. Very well, I will make the arrangements. Life will be easier for your subjects for a while, but the treasury will not easily recover. I only hope we haven't thrown away our chances of survival. Of course, you could always replenish our gold supplies by donating from your personal funds. Shall we proceed with today's agenda? Kalin, the representative for the Auroran people, has requested an audience with you. The court awaits in the throne room.
Hooray!
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Majesty. At your orders.
All stand for the Queen.
Your Majesty.
Well met,
Your...
Today you must decide how much protection to grant Aurora. Kalin will offer her proposal. Riva will stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, as you know, the threat from the deserts that surrounds my...
Aurora is under our protection. It is our duty to build this outpost.
The Queen's decision is final. A military outpost shall be erected in the deserts that surround Aurora.
We shall not forget this gesture. Aurora thanks you.
Ah, you are a whimsical monarch, and that is why you are so beloved.
Very well, it shall be done. Riva Industries is proud to present an exotic tale of romance, adventure, and sand. The Desert Outpost.
bring forth Sabine of the Mistpeak Dwellers. Today, you decide on the fate of Mistpeak, home of the Dwellers, Your Majesty. Sabine will speak for his people and their land. Reaver will dispute his cause.
You may speak.
I come here seeking nothing but what was promised me and my people. You pledged to restore our home.
I will keep my promise to the Dwellers. The Mistpeak Mountains shall be restored.
Mistpeak shall become a protected region, and the Dwellers shall be granted authority over its forests and resources.
You are true to your word and your honor. The Dwellers will stand by you till the end.
The forests of Mistpeak are our greatest national treasure, and now, thanks to Reaver Industries, they have returned to their past splendor. Dwellers, birds, and bunnies are free to roam, laugh, and kill each other as nature intended. Who needs all that lumber anyway?
At your service.
Greetings, madam.
It is time, Your Majesty, to meet fate with steely resolve and commission Albion's army. We will use the funds we have to establish the best possible defense. Before I can commit those funds, however, I require your signature on a contract stating your awareness of the projected number of civilian casualties. Strictly a formality, of course, though should the number alarm you, you may wish to donate as much gold to the treasury as possible before you sign.
Here, have this for being such a great queen.
Ah, hello.
Very good. If you could just sign on the dotted line, please. Happy anniversary, Your Majesty. 1 year as Queen of Albion. Doesn't time just fly? I am delighted to say that the Albion army has been deployed in preparation for the invasion, so we may enjoy the occasion without apprehensions. To celebrate this momentous day, I have prepared some fantastic events. First, you will stand still for several hours while a local artist paints your portrait. Then you will choose the 47 varieties of flowers you wish to be cast at your feet as you parade through the city. Oh, and you will need to sign thousands of autographs, of course. Let's see, you will also be fitted for a new pair of shoes, and, of course, you will need a new suit.
The day has come, Queen. It is time for you to face the darkness. But you will do so in your true form, Over the past year, you have made decisions that reveal your nature, and which have affected the lives of all your subjects. You have done what many would have thought impossible. Not only have you raised an army to protect your people, but you have accomplished this while acting as a noble, benevolent, and popular ruler. But you are more than a queen. You are a hero. You are Albion's champion, its protector. This coming battle is the reason you had to take Logan's place. Only you can defeat the creature that dwells in the shadows. If you do not, all your efforts will have been in vain. Now go. Do what you were born to do.
It's here. The darkness has reached Power Stone. Reports indicate that our defenses were able to hold off the worst of the first attack. But if we don't act quickly, even the armies we prepared for this day will not be enough.
We have to get out on the streets, now!
Today we fight for Albion!
For Albion!
Albion!
Defend the city with your lives!
We'll get the sod for that. Don't worry, my friend.
It's here!
No one will stop me! That thing ever shut up! I'm taking some serious punishment here!
The light bringers have come, but this is the kingdom of unlight now. This is the kingdom of death.
Don't listen to it.
Death beats its wings for you.
These things are tough!
The residential mascot's going to enjoy eating your dead flesh.
I can barely see.
Dead fingers
Where are they?
talk. Dead fingers whisper. Dead fingers claw at 1 million eyes. is a transgression against the Knights! You shall be sightless, for that is the most blessed state of being. It is our gift to you.
No armor is stopping.
But swords still slice through them.
Watch us fly into your heart. You are the flowers the children will pick and cast into death.
Nice one! He's not getting out again.
Who crafted such slight, flimsy forms to rip like insect wings in our hands? Loved ones now, how you will never see them again. Such a lost people. Why do you cry for such alien things? Mercy and love have no substance in the dark.
I can feel it. We're getting close to that thing. Where are you? Show yourself!
The lost sheep returns to the flock. No one ever leaves the darkness behind. Do you see? Do you see what you have done? We are all shadows now.
Hey, I can't get through!
I have killed so many of you already. Why fight me any longer? Why did you do this to me? You would be nothing without me. I can't see. I can't see. see the children. Why did you do this to me?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you took away the darkness. It's been inside me all this time. But it's light now. I can see the sky. And it's light. I don't think I can fight anymore.
It's all over, Walter. We won. We beat it together.
Do you remember the stories I tell you when you were a child? There was a great king once. The mightiest hero of them all. Remember what you would say?
Teach me to be a hero.
You've done me proud. You've always done me proud.
Oh, Walter.
I think old Walter would have liked it out here. He was always a fan of looking tall and stony. I can imagine what he'd say if he was here now.
Shut up, Ben.
Exactly.
It's time I returned to my own castle. If ever you need to save the world from another abomination, you know where to find me.
My people shall never forget what you have done for them. We are proud to be part of Albion. I shall return to Aurora in the knowledge that we may at last enjoy peace. Farewell, Your Majesty.
Walter was right about you. You're a hero in every sense of the word. The hero Albion needed.
What will you do now?
I will continue to serve you the best way I can. I belong down in the city. The people there will always need help. Goodbye, my queen.
You have done what I thought impossible. You are the ruler I could never be. But you don't need me anymore. And Albion will heal easier without me.
Well, Queen, old chum, ruler supreme, pal, you did it. You saved the kingdom. And it's my turn to say goodbye. I'm not cut out to be a general. And I think I'd like to start travelling again. Or maybe see if Paige needs any help down in Industrial. But before I go, let's send off our friend in style, shall we? This one's for you, Walter.
This is the world as it could have been. Devoid of colour, devoid of life. It is thanks to you that it isn't so, and you did it without becoming a tyrant. The people love you, and you have banished the shadow of your brother's reign. You kept your promise to Sabine and his people, when it would have been easier to turn your back on them. A noble gesture. You swore an oath to Paige to better the lives of your people, and you did so even in the face of great danger. You did for the Aurorans what your brother would not. He broke his promise, but you proved to be the better leader. Without the strength to make those choices, we would not be standing here now. Perhaps we shall meet again one day, Queen.
Aren't you going to tell me my future?
The future will reveal itself when it is ready to do so.
Salutations, my most gracious lady.
Ah, Your Majesty. It seems like an age since we last had the pleasure of speaking. The awful attack on the kingdom, Walter's tragic demise. Terrible, terrible business. Still, we mustn't dwell on the past, must we? There is much to do. Dealing with the aftermath of recent events, bolstering the morale of the people, and many, many equally riveting issues. So, if you are ready, Your Majesty, shall we proceed to the throne room and begin? Wonderful. I assure you, you will be entertained, engrossed, and elated. This is our best royal schedule yet. So I will arrange an audience with the Blacksmith Association, and we can clear this tax dispute up in no time. 2 or 3 days of negotiations should settle it. Now, on to much more important matters. The hiring of a new head gardener. As you know, the rose bushes this year have suffered some minor discomfort due to the inclement weather and less than salubrious soil management. I have arranged an interview process that should take no more than 8 weeks, starting tomorrow morning. It should make for a very... But lest we forget matters of state, we really ought to begin a more considered census of the population. Estimates of the number of citizens vary widely. I suggest each one comes to the throne room and has a...
Is it too late for an audience, my queen? Come from far away to fulfill my destiny, to get revenge for everything you've done. How many innocent people have you sent to the kingdom?
I don't know what
Your lies won't save you now. I've spent years in a cell thinking about this moment. Did you think you're safe here, Your Majesty? Did you think your guards could protect you? I know all about guards. They couldn't keep me in a keep, and they couldn't keep me out of your castle. This is the end of the kingdom. Albion will be free. It's time for the people to rule themselves. I am well trained to murder. I've never killed a queen before, though. I am the instrument of change. I am the voice of revolution. The world doesn't need the crown. It doesn't need the throne. You're a relic, Your Majesty. Nobody will mourn your castle. Nobody mourns a tyrant. I came here alone, but I represent dangerous. You will never defeat us all. Practice what you have got. It doesn't give you the right to rule a country. I wish General Turner were here to see you die. Such a pity you'll never meet him. He will return Albion to a more pure state. This castle will burn to the ground. Your family lived in the monarchy, but there's no place in our land. Everyone imprisoned by the king of Albion will be set free. I'm willing to die for Are you? You think you're safe now? I'm just the first of many. We will kill you in the end.
My queen! An enemy ship is approaching.
There are soldiers on board!
Who are they?
Get ready!
They're almost here!
Hold steady!
They look like elite soldiers. What the hell is going on? I don't know, but they're as good as dead.
We are at your service, Your Majesty.
Who are you?
I'm Commander Milton. We came in pursuit of the man who attempted to take your life. I knew he would not succeed, but his escape dishonors us all the same.
The man spoke of a place called the Keep. Is that where you've come from?
Yes. Ravenscar Keep. It's a prison far from this coast, and we're the soldiers sworn to guard it.
Another of my brother's secrets.
If you'll come with us, Your Majesty, I'll show you. The Keep is where Albion's worst criminals are held, the most dangerous enemies of the Crown. It's time our new queen saw it for herself. Welcome to the Keep, Your Majesty. Albion's secret prison. Your father made use of it. Your brother Logan made use of it. Now, it is yours. I had my men prepare for your visit, so the cells should be ready for inspection.
Is it safe? Recent events have made me somewhat wary of convicts.
There are plenty of harmless political prisoners imprisoned by Logan, but over the years we have accumulated some rather dangerous individuals. And there's none more dangerous than General Turner. He led your brother's armies for years, until he became obsessed with ending his rule, with abolishing the crown altogether.
Oh my, yes. General Turner. He attempted a coup on your brother and declared he would bring about the end of the monarchy in Albion. Unfortunately, this was before Logan saw fit to execute all traitors.
I believe the assassin you killed was acting under his orders. We will conduct a full investigation into how... Something's wrong.
I knew it! This place is a death trap! I'm going to be torn apart by angry criminals!
This way, Your Majesty.
I'll stay here and make sure nobody sinks the boat!
Lieutenant, what the hell happened?
Nobody quite knows, sir. Some of the prisoners in Block A broke free. They started a riot.
got hold of weapons and killed some of our men. We can't break through.
We won't be able to get through the entrance. There's a reason we call this place the Keep. Fortunately, I know this place better than any prisoner. Are you willing to get your hands dirty, Queen? Or perhaps you would prefer to wait here?
I may have become a politician, Commander, but I was born to fight. Lead the way.
With pleasure. The old sewer system leads into the lower levels. It's as secure as any other part of the Keep, but I can get us through. I wouldn't be surprised if General Turner was behind this. I've been the warden of this place for 7 years, and we've never had a prisoner like him. He seems to exert some strange control over people. But you can judge for yourself soon. It's impossible to get past this gate without the key, and I have the only copy, as this poor bastard found out too late. I should warn you, we'll be coming out into the prison's lowest level. We call it the Pit. The inmates down here are so disturbed they're barely human. Welcome to the Pit, Your Majesty. The most miserable place in Albion. Try to stay away from the cell doors. They sound agitated enough already. I closed this room down when I took over. The doctors who used it called it an electrical rehabilitation facility. The rest of us called it the torture chamber. Most of the men you hear screaming sat in those chairs every day. If they weren't insane when they came in, well, let's just say I'd rather die than be strapped to one of those things. We should be right under the rioters now. Here they come. Don't hold back, Your Majesty. These men are vicious killers. Turns into a real bloodbath. These were good men. Some of them little more than boys. This was never meant to happen.
Like that, you.
I knew it. This isn't a random riot. It's too organized. Turner did this. He sent the assassin after you not to kill you, but to draw me and my best soldiers away. Come on. If he's behind this, we need to find him before it's too late. They've broken into the armory. This is going to get interesting. Watch your back, Your Majesty. We're not exactly the most popular people among convicts, are we? I never should have left the island. Never underestimate a desperate criminal. It sounds like some of the guards are still fighting in there. They're going to need our help. If you don't mind, Your Majesty, I think I'll join my men. I only hope our other more famous ones are still behind bars. Imagine what it's like together. Nothing hardens a bandit like being locked up for a few years. Been a recorded riot with me for 2 decades. After all this time being nothing but a warden, it's good to feel like a soldier again. I used to complain nothing ever happened on this island. This isn't quite what I had in mind, though. Turner must have a bigger plan than just letting some prisoners out. Not knowing what it is what worries me the most.
I've never been shot before. What's it feel like? That's not on. Striking a comrade like that.
You should have stayed in your cell.
Good hit.
My guards haven't seen proper combat in a long time. We're taken by surprise. The cells of the maximum security ward must have been opened, including General Turner's. Come on, we have to get there before he can make a break for it. This ends now. None of you will escape alive. Just a few more, Your Majesty.
Take cover, lads. There's legend.
When these fall, the rest will surrender. Peace is ours! This ends now. None of you will escape alive. Just a few more, Your Majesty. When these fall, the rest will surrender. Where are the prisoners?
They're gone, sir. The cells were empty when we were taken hostage.
I should have known. Damn it, I should have known. Round up the last of the rioters and lock them up.
Yes, sir.
Missing? We have to get out of here. We'll be butchered.
You may rest at ease, Mr. Hobson. I don't believe they're anywhere on the island. The riot was a diversion, orchestrated by Turner. As long as he's at large, Albion is under threat, Your Majesty. But he isn't the only one we need to worry about. We will need to recapture all the escapees if we want to safeguard the kingdom.
Who are the others?
Professor Faraday was a celebrated inventor, and the brains behind most of our industrial progress, until he turned on your brother. He's a mild-mannered man, but his creations could bring about the end of civilization. Mary Godwin, also known as Witchcraft Mary, was a highly skilled alchemist, though that knowledge rests in a very disturbed mind. She was convicted of witchery after they discovered her rather horrific experiments. I dread to think what she may do next. And I've already told you about General Turner, the most dangerous of them all. He must have been planning this breakout for months.
Where do we begin?
The records room holds all the information we have on our prisoners. My men can study the files for Witchcraft Mary and Turner. I'm confident I know where I can find Faraday. There's only one place he could call his home. One place he could believe himself safe. I propose we sail there as soon as possible.
I magnanimously offer my services in this investigation. This study seems like a nice, safe place from which to serve the kingdom.
Very good, then. Your Majesty, I shall meet you at the pier when you're ready to hunt down Faraday.
There seem to be several entries on this Mary Godwin, or Witchcraft Mary.
Oh, bollocks. I've made errors in the count before, but never had this many men missing. No other explanation. They've scarpered.
Faraday had a remote factory he opened up to the public before things turned sour. Clockwork Island. It was quite a popular tourist attraction some years ago. Faraday's inventions have changed the world, but all he really wanted was to make people happy.
Why was he locked up?
Nobody really knows. Your brother said he was a danger to mankind. As for Faraday himself, all he would ever say is that he'd rather die than betray his creations. I used to queue up for hours when I was a child in Bowerstone, just to get a glimpse of his contraptions. I still remember the slogan, Faraday Industries, where faraway dreams become reality. Well, those dreams certainly look far away now.
Welcome, visitors, to Clockwork Island. I am Huxley, and I will be your guide. Please refrain from using obscene language in front of the children. Now, if you will follow me, we will begin the tour. Keep your belongings with you at all times, and try not to stray from the group.
I suppose we should do what he says.
We begin with what is yet to come. Astonish your senses, give flight to your fancy by stepping into the street of the future.
I'm starting to wish I'd paid this place a visit while it was still open.
Before you is an everyday Bowerstone suburb, as it will be 15 years from now. Yes, the future is in our grasp. Please walk among the citizens of tomorrow, share in their joy, marvel at their superior well-being. In the world of tomorrow, there is no conflict, no jealousy, no selfishness. Thanks to science, people are finally happy. Witness the idyllic lives of these model citizens. Marvel at the perfect lives they lead. Would you not want to raise a family here? This is the future that Faraday Industries can bring to Albion. Peace and contentment for all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning, good evening, good This concludes the tour. We hope all your dreams have been fulfilled.
I know who you are, and I know why you're here. You will never get what you want. Never.
It's Faraday.
I'm ready for you, Your Majesty. I am most ready. And if it is violence you seek, then violence you shall have.
This is a security announcement to all our guests here today. Please take cover. The management accepts no responsibility for any mutilations, fatalities, or slight grazes. And now, presenting the latest in armed defense mechanisms, a round of applause for the Colin Mark II. In common and could become steadfast friends.
Faraday's just stalling us. No wonder tourists stop.
There is no better feeling than living with a new weapon in your hand. A pipe and
future isn't that different to the street of the present. I think I'd rather fight prisoners. This is like no armor I've ever seen. This is going well. We've only been here a few minutes and we're already fighting for our lives. You think these things feel pain?
I really do.
So this is what... Looks like the street of the future is going to be a dangerous place to live. I'm starting to see why your brother locked Faraday up. Come on, let's find him, shall we? I think there might be a way through here. How come this isn't part of the tour? There's some sort of canal down there. Ready when you are, Your Majesty.
Say without reservations that it is an extraordinary success. The public adores my creations. And as I predicted, the street of the future is proving to be my greatest draw. Tomorrow I travel to Mistpeak, where I will oversee the maiden voyage of the improved monorail.
I think we can safely say this isn't part of the tour. What are those? Insects?
I have instructed my cleaning and repair crew to clear the canal of detritus. Now go away!
Can you imagine what would happen if these insects got loose in Albion? I don't care what they're made of, they're still disgusting. Faraday built himself quite a fortress, hasn't he? We're getting close. Faraday must be in that factory up ahead.
Why can't you leave me alone? I will never do as you ask. Do you hear me? Never!
What's he talking about?
I'm not sure. Maybe he's finally lost what little reason he had left.
Rulers may believe they can impose their will on whomever they so wish. But I was born to make dreams come alive, not to create death.
You are so clever and so happy. We could do this forever and ever.
Must I turn more of my creations into monstrosities? Leave us in peace!
I have a feeling these dogs aren't here to play catch with us. Bombs. Why am I not surprised? You need to kill them from a distance. Don't let them get too close to you. Faraday must be really desperate if he's willing to destroy his creations to stop us. You need to kill them from a distance. Faraday must be really desperate if he's willing to destroy his creations to stop us. Don't let them get too close to you. You need to kill them from a distance. I was always more... I've had just about enough of this. Whatever he believes, he's too dangerous to be left out here. We need to find him, now. Another dead end. There must be some way through.
Look how you corrupted my life's work. Wasn't enough.
They're relentless.
More evidence.
I will show you what is what.
Stop it! I'm really getting sick of these walking boxes.
Person so far.
Think of what your brother would have done if he'd had an army of automatons in his army.
There is no place on one island or built like you. Die, ruffian.
Ever gets out, it means the end of the army. Who would need a real soldier? Who'd want to be one? I think there's a way through the roof. Come on.
Incredible news. I have received word that King Logan himself is planning to visit the island. He wishes to speak with me in person. No doubt to congratulate me on all the advances I have made, and on transforming Bowerstone slums into a happy and productive place. I shall have to record a special welcome message for Huxley.
You've taken my work. You've taken years of my life.
If this technology ever gets out, it means the end of the army. Who would need a real soldier? Who would want to be one? Logan must have driven him insane. He made him turn this place into a war factory. Stop them!
Cease your bleeding.
I've fought a lot of strange things in my time, but today has to be the strangest. If this technology... How many more of these things are there?
Do not be alarmed. Surgeon, now. Open your mouth.
General Turner must have plans for all these creatures. tell. I had no idea this is what it's all about. They're relentless. Think of what your brother would have done if he'd had an army of automatons at his command. I'm really getting sick of these walking boxes. Let's hope that's the last of them. This is it. The last factory. He has to be here somewhere. What if it was all just recorded messages? He's been playing us.
Is this the perfect soldier you wanted, Your Majesty? Well, you shall never have it. I designed this suit to be the most powerful weapon that has ever existed. Allow me to demonstrate. My creation will never desert me. Leave an old man alone. Leave me alone.
It has been warned before. Littering is a killable offense. Before, someone walks into a bar and says, "Are you ready to meet your maker? I have already met mine."
Well then, I'm ready. Your brother destroyed everything I cared for. You may as well kill me.
We should take him back to the keep. We can take care of his wounds there.
I'm not like my brother. You're safe now.
Thank you. I should not have judged you so hastily, Your Majesty.
You have been through a lot, Mr. Faraday. But now that we know the truth, your life will return to normal.
Very good. He will be released as soon as his wounds are healed.
Ah, my queen. I have eagerly awaited your return. I have made an extraordinary discovery.
Just tell her what my men found out, Hobson.
Why, it was a wholly collaborative effort. Without my supervision, who knows when...
Just tell me.
Of course, indeed. As you know, the second prisoner is the alchemist and alleged witch, Mary Godwin. A rather foul and malevolent woman, by all accounts. We have uncovered files on experiments so grotesque, I don't mind admitting I lost part of my supper while reading them.
Get to the point, Hobson.
Yes. Well, it seems that before she turned to foul necromancy, she came from a well-to-do family. We believe she may be hiding out at her grandfather's long-abandoned and rather opulent estate.
I have the coordinates. I'll wait for you at the pier. The sooner we capture this woman, the better.
And I shall continue leading the investigation into General Turner. There really seems to be so little information on the man. It's as if...
My sister can't believe I lost my exorcism.
As far as I'm concerned, the occasional riot's good for us.
I don't mind admitting I'm rather looking forward to more action. Too many years sitting at a desk. The estate has been abandoned for years, but there are definite signs of life here. I think we found Mary Godwin's hiding place, all right. This place represents everything General Turner despises. Old money, aristocracy. Nepotism. You may find when you meet him that you have something in common. You're both revolutionaries.
Then why does he want me dead?
You stopped being a rebel. You became queen. The Godwins had curious notions about art. No wonder Witchcraft Mary turned out the way she did. She probably grew up looking at these things. I almost feel like they're watching me. The sooner we get off this island... What a surprise! They're alive! I'd heard the goblins kept some sort of zoo, but who keeps Balverines? Believed those rumors about this estate housing the world's largest menagerie. If the Godwins were mad enough to keep Balverines, Who knows what else we'll find here? There's the main house. Come on. Witchcraft Mary has to be somewhere in this demented zoo. I'd heard her experiments involved electrical currents. They make good deterrents, too. We could use something like this at the keep. Let's go. There must be a way around it. It looks more and more like Mary swapped one prison for another. Except she's in charge of this one. Another of the rumors about Witchcraft Mary. Necromancy. I never thought there was any truth to it. Someone's definitely been digging up corpses, though.
Ah, hello. Your new garments are ready should you want them. Reconsider, have you? Very well. That ensemble is absurd. Presumably you realized that when you selected it. I see you've decided to take things a bit more seriously. Well,
I'm not sure I want to know why. But I'm guessing this has something to do with it. These are like no hollow men I've ever seen. They're much more ancient. They're trying to stay out of the light. It's true then. Mary has been playing with dark magics. What is she thinking, creating hollow men? It's against nature. It's obscene. General Turner can't be planning to create an army out of Valverines and hollow men. It's just too preposterous. Some of these were real soldiers once. Where did she get the bodies? If she successfully created hollow men, I can't imagine what else she's managed to do. We should collect all her research papers. She may belong to Seth. This is science the world has never seen the likes of before. Doesn't look like we're getting around these gates, but there must be some way of cutting the power to them. I think I can shut this down. It's not too different to the generator in the Keep's torture chamber. Oh, great. Get ready for some company. Keep those things away from me. Circuits are like anything I've seen before. As fast as I can. These circuits are unlike anything I've seen before. She must have trained them to protect the generator. That should do the trick. The generator was quite crude. Nothing like Faraday's technology. What's remarkable is how she's managed to get Hollow Men and Balverines to fight side by side. I've never heard of such a thing happening before. We can either try to wade through the rubble, or we can find another way in. Such as that cave over there. It seems more like Witchcraft Mary's style, anyway. Let's hope she keeps her pets out of the house. This was probably one of the best stocked cellars in Albion once. Smells like most of it turned to vinegar. It didn't stop someone from emptying these bottles, though. Do you hear that? Come on. Hobs. I was wondering when we'd come across them. It just isn't a proper zoo without hobs. We should leave them sleeping. The noise might alert Godwin. We should step lightly, though I doubt any noise on Earth could wake them.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Each time you
Is that
kiss
dead
my
fish
gills,
talking?
it gives me fishy chills. And when you touch my scales, my little fishy heart
I'd rather be stuck in a cell than live in this madhouse.
But baby, don't you treat me rough. Can't you see I'm already stuffed? And tell me that your love is earnest, or you're as bad as a taxidermist.
Shame that wine didn't poison
One more time. Each time you kiss my gills, it gives me fishy chills. And when you touch my scales, my little fishy heart
These are the foulest of all foul creatures.
But baby, don't you treat me rough. Can't you see I'm all...
At least the fish has shut up. Is there nothing normal on this island? Come on, let's go before it starts singing again. Just when you think it can't get any worse, an indoor graveyard. At least there's only one wisp. We should be safe. Here's another of Mary's notebooks. She mentions General Turner in this one. Sounds like he won her over to his cause. Oh, hell. There we go again. What kind of monstrous creation is this? Mary has taken her experiments too far. It's like no Hollow Men I've ever seen or heard of before. Take care. Those flames are unnatural. How are such creatures even possible? I'm not sure how many more of these encounters I can take. Wrong with them? This is beyond a joke! As if regular hops are bad enough. What are all these hellish experiments for? Mary can't be far from here. This is beyond a joke! General Turner has got a lot to answer for. We wouldn't be in this mess if he hadn't won Witchcraft Mary over. Not that I'm surprised. You haven't met him, but believe me, he's the most charismatic, most persuasive man you'll ever meet. We must be getting close to her. Whatever she's been doing with these creatures, we're gonna find out soon. Better get your weapon ready. I'm noticing a pattern here. We walk in, things try to kill us. Told you. We have to kill... We should burn this island to the ground. Only a sick mind could have created this nightmare. What are those bats? These creatures were meant to be. Where are you, Mary? What has she been doing to these creatures? We have to kill them all. We should burn this island to the ground. I'm not sure how much more of this place I can take. Can you hear that? It must be her. Come on.
purpose to destroy us? We are the essence of Albion. We are stronger. We are more alive.
Not this form again. Please don't let me live this way. Kill me, I beg you.
She doesn't know what she's saying. We should take her back to the keep. She needs special care.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
We'll do what we can for her. When she's well enough, perhaps we can send her to a more adequate facility. She needs more help than we can give her. We still need to find General Turner. I'll meet you in the records room. Perhaps Hobson and my men have uncovered his location.
What happened?
It was Turner. He's been here all along. He never left the island.
Where's Hobson?
You took him. Turner's been playing with us, playing with you. This is what he wanted all along, to lure you into a trap. He's been using hidden passages behind the walls. He's somewhere in the prison. I don't care what happens to Hobson, but we have to find Turner. He left through here. I know it's a trap, but I'm not sure Turner realizes who he's dealing with. He hasn't seen you fight like I have. We should be careful. He must have something prepared for us.
I have begun the process of revolution in the quietest way possible. Talking to those I trust most, and gauging the mood of the troops. It is clear that when the time comes, many among our ranks will join me in an uprising. We have all seen the ever-deepening chasm in our society, the way our people have been oppressed by the king. Even worse, we have all at one time or another been the instrument of that oppression. Change is coming to Albion. It is inevitable.
This is the pit. If he's hiding with all these lunatics...
Stabbed. Time of death, probable cause of death, massive head trauma, or a virus.
Set them free. Bastards, set them free! least they're out of their misery now.
You're hurt.
I'll be all right. I'm no hero, though.
Stay here. I can deal with Turner alone.
I'm sure you can. You have powers the rest of us can only dream of. There might be more coming. Go. I'll hold them off while I can.
It's all right, Hobson.
There was no third prisoner. It was all him.
It's time for your treatment, Your Majesty. You're awake, Your Majesty. Good. I was afraid I might have set too high a charge. But then, you have powers the rest of us can only dream of. Hobson was mistaken. There was a third prisoner. General Turner, the finest soldier I ever served under, the finest man I ever knew, died 6 months ago. I couldn't save his life, but I wasn't going to let everything he believed in die with him. You see, it's time for a true revolution. And how does one bring down a queen? How does one bring down a hero? By becoming one. Forgive me, Your Majesty. Worked. To the end of kings and queens.
Queen of Albion.
Do you see now who the real enemy is?
I am you. And only one of us can live. Leave my dog alone.
How many people I've seen die for someone else's cause? How much blood I've seen spilled in the name of the crown? And how many have wasted away in prisons like this just for speaking their minds? You call yourself a revolutionary. What changed? We swapped one for another. What gives you the right to dictate our lives? Your hero blood. Do you think but you don't know how to use it. Why become a filthy beast when you become God? General Turner wanted a military coup, but I've had a better. You're simply taking your place. I've seen how you behave. I've seen I know how to be. And as Queen of Albion, I will end the crown forever. I once turned rotting in his cell, too sick to live. I took care of him as best I could. And I learned the truth about the glorious Albion. Two identical heroes can't be overcome. We would be locked in battle forever, always evenly matched. But I made sure the prisoners on this floor did some of my work. Now, I'm strong. I've watched you use them. Feel them coursing through me. It's incredible. Let's hope you're wearing the Faraday's. But as long as you wear the crown, you are an enemy of the people. I know many things, but that doesn't mean that you can decide the fate of our whole country. A soldier must do what is necessary to protect his nation. When I sit on the throne of Albion, I will reverse every bad decision you ever made, and then I will free the people from the rule of the crown. It's a pity you won't see this. The people of Albion will rule themselves, and the army will be there to protect them. Another revolution has failed. Perhaps it's as it should be. I don't know that I could ever have given up such power. Just remember this, Queen. Albion doesn't need you to sit on its throne. One day, the people will claim their freedom.
That was quite an extraordinary and most unpleasant turn of events, if you don't mind me saying so. I never did trust Commander Milton, of course, but to attempt a coup by taking your place, why, it's diabolical. His death should serve as an example to all. And to think he was loyal to a traitor like General Turner. We should be thankful the General was a rather sick man when he was imprisoned, or Milton might have let him walk free.
For you, Your Majesty. You frightened me.
General Turner's papers were...
I hope you're well, my friend.
Greetings, ma'am.
I am impressed with your traveling companion. Let's
Shop
see it
here
then,
and
Your
you're
Majesty.
liable to rub.
Fair price paid.
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
Attention!
There's a discount on that. Come back anytime. Thank you for your custom. Come back anytime. I never thought this town would go through such an amazing boom. I hope you can afford my prices.
Sell me your unwanted items. I want to buy them.
Come back anytime. Looky.
Bit of a shortage on... That's a fine item. I hope I can make a profit on that. Thank you for your custom. Always happy to be of service.
Hello.
How's the landlording business then? I hope I can make a profit on that.
Well, well, light here. The old room is spinning. Oh, no.
Come back if you have anything else to say.
Famous.
Happy to be
That
of service.
means we're
Always
better.
happy to... I hope I can make a profit on that. I just can't keep stocked up on some of these items. I'll give you a good price if you've got what I need.
Hi there, darling. Oh,
That's a fine item.
Some character to your
We
face.
have a
Your
shortage of some...
famous beards.
I hope I can make a profit on that. Thank you for your custom. Come back if you have anything else to sell. We're owned by a real adventurer, so you know our goods are good.
None of our needle. Any more of that and I'll have you up for gross indecency.
Oh, wow.
At your service.
Hello.
People's princess, that's what you
Ah,
are.
it's
a
our
present,
mighty
'cause we
queen.
love you.
Hello.
Hello there, your majesty.
The Queen! Or as Daddy says, the big cheese! Wait till I get up about this! It's you! The Queen! Wow! Really you!
Ah, hello. Your new gloves are available. Any other business?
The Queen! Or as Daddy says, the big cheese!
Have your orders, Mom?
Your Majesty?
Hey,
Here.
great!
I offer this with all...
The Queen! Wow!
Take this. Right?
Your Majesty. Worthless. A lot of you. I knew it was too much to expect that you would do the right thing all the time. Your Majesty? How are you?
You should go somewhere nice and peaceful.
I trust
like
your
a
well, madam.
cemetery.
Your special gift is still waiting for you to open it. Surely you've had enough anticipation by this point?